Hello, World Wide Web. I'm Dr. Shado, the internet personality with the best hair. And fuck if this hasn't been a rough month for me, but I'm ready to get back on track. And, of course, that means... What, no booing this time? No jeers? No cries of outrage over me calling creepy?
Boo.
Does that even count?
Are you saying boo or boo-earns?
Never mind. Creepy!
Decker.
Crossover?
Sounds good. What excuse are we using this time?
Who cares? It's almost Dino-cember. Or it is Dino-cember, depending on when this gets up. And I need some dinosaur-themed movies to review, so do you have any ideas? Anything just screams dinosaurs?
Well, there's the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie that you've been putting off all year long.
I said dinosaurs, creepy, not spandex-clad teenagers with neurosis or whatever. Think big, city-stomping monstrosities tearing apart civilization.
Triceratops! Tyrannosaurus!
Damn it! At the very least, it beats watching the 2000 Disney's Dinosaur. The things I'd do for ad revenue. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was a show in the early 90s. Kinda. It was a sort of half show, being half original footage spliced in with the Japanese Super Sentai Tokusatsu series. Why on earth they did this instead of just translating Super Sentai is beyond me, but that's what we got. Or what you got. Even as a kid, I really didn't care that much for Power Rangers.
We know that, Decker. You take the opportunity to remind me on every day that ends in Y.
Released in 1995 to theaters, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie was... well, it's an odd little duckling. The film takes place between seasons 2 and 3 of the television series, except the TV show completely ignores the film's continuity, replacing all of it with a 4-part premiere.
Which took place after a 3-parter called A Friend in Need.
You know what, fuck it, if we try and figure out this movie, this review is gonna last longer than all of Dino-cember on its lonesome. Power Rangers the movie, no, not that one, is your basic Monster of the Week plot stretched out to fill a 90-minute movie slot. Rita and Zed are bad guys. They free another bad guy. Bad guy takes over. Rangers have to fight bad guy. Look, this movie doesn't have much in terms of plot. This is coming from someone who used to review a whole lot of Asylum films. Atlantic Rim is starting to look, well, still awful, but it doesn't make this look any better.
You actually took less time getting to Atlantic Rim. You know, there is a sequel.
One problem at a time, creepy, so let's take a look at Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, and see if I can finally understand Creepy's bizarro fetish for this franchise. We open to... teenagers skydiving. The fuck no?
Honestly, for this show, teenager skydiving isn't the weirdest thing you'll see. And that includes the giant robots. Odds are good, this is just a charity event for their high school.
Tickets to see the Comet are available at the fire department booth. And now, folks, raise your eyes to the skies. Here comes the team from Hazel Grove High!
But I thought you were joking. What kind of high school has the budget for this sort of shit? Major universities wouldn't sponsor this.
Nah, it's Power Rangers. Teenagers in Angel Grove do just about everything except act like teenagers. You get used to it.
Oh no, I will not be letting this go, but I will be rattling off the cast and crew. Bulk and Skull are present, played by Paul Schreier and Jason Narvey, respectively. Then, of course, we have the Power Rangers. Aisha, the Yellow Ranger, played by Karen Ashley. Adam, the Black Ranger, played by Johnny Young Bosch. Rocky, the Red Ranger, played by Steve Cardenas. Tommy, the White Ranger, played by Jason David Frank. Kimberly, the Pink Ranger, played by Amy Jo Johnson. And finally, Billy, the Blue Ranger, played by David Yost. God damn, I feel like a phone book.
Facebook, Decker. Phone books went out with the 90s. Though it is good to see you getting into the spirit of things.
In addition to all of their homework, after-school activities, and world-saving, the Rangers still had enough time to practice skydiving enough for all of them to remain in perfect formation and nail the drop zone target. Among the onlookers is Fred Kellman, played by Jamie Croft, who will be our annoying kid character for this movie.
Kind of a proto-Justin. For those of you not strong enough to block out memories of Power Rangers Turbo.
Guys, I'm the new Blue Ranger. Isn't that cool or what?
I feel like this needs to be explained to me, but I'm already feeling the pain of knowing that there is another annoying kid character in this annoying kids show. The kid establishes he exists, which is already too much for me, so moving on. jump to the next fun sports activity to do for the camera. Hey, what do kids like doing these days? Rollerblading? Alright, they're rollerblading. Why the hell are they rollerblading?
In fairness, this is the most normal thing we've seen them do.
It's been 6 minutes! The camera seems to spend a good amount of time zoomed in on pink and yellow butt. There's enough butt of all kinds to go around, to be honest. However, what happened to that oh-so-important duo, Bulk and Skull? They parachuted way off mark into a construction site, and boy are they in trouble.
We're from the Angel Grove Building Inspector's office.
Yeah, that building's supposed to be over there!
Or, when surrounded by adult humans of presumably average IQ, they can just swear up and down that they are authority figures who happen to wear propeller hats.
Again, this is par for the course with them.
But seriously, these two dropping out of the sky and just pretending they are authority figures, let alone adults, which... Okay, to be fair, they are played by adults, but none of this makes any kind of logical sense. Which brings me to another point. The rollerblading scene actually does a great job demonstrating a thing that's been really bothering me during this film. And again, we're only a few minutes in. The Rangers number in 6. They're always seen together, they wear the same colors as their Ranger suits, and they presumably vanish whenever the Power Rangers show up to fight the monsters. How the fuck has nobody figured this out yet? Clark Kent wasn't this obvious!
As we spend time in Angel Grove, Decker, you will learn that the adults of this town are very, very stupid.
Being a Ranger isn't all fun and games, though, despite what we've seen so far. The Rangers get a call on their Apple Watches, Samsung smartwatches, Fitbits.
Communicators.
Whatever, and teleport away on the ABC The More You Know banner, right out in public. I'm starting to see what creepy means about the adults in this town being stupid. And at the very least, they rolled crit fail on all the spot checks. What's even weirder is the fact that the trouble they're being called away to deal with is happening in town just a few short feet away. A giant purple Easter egg clutched in a huge metal claw, which is both less and more ominous than I was expecting.
It's another trope of this show. Even when the danger is right off camera, they still have to show off the command center.
Ay, 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 ay! The subtronic interfaces are short-circuiting. I have to find a way to alternate the frequency modulators.
Although this time I do get why.
This is the Rangers' base, the command center, home of Space Wizard, Mentor, and generic floating head Zordon, played by Nicholas Bell, and his trusty robot assistant, Alpha 5, voiced by Richard Wood. Zordon dispenses with the usual warnings of bad guys doing bad things, which takes a really long fucking time.
6,000 years ago, a morphological being known as Ivan Ooze ruled the world with a reign of unparalleled terror.
What, you're just bringing this up now?
Zordon tends to be the type of mentor who disseminates information on a need-to-know basis. There's been something like 8 major threats during the Mighty Morphin era alone, and they only get brought up right before the Earth is attacked.
While Zordon rambles on about this new threat, the whole freaking day goes by. Nightfall has come, and Rita Repulsa and Lord Zed have arrived at the construction site to crack the egg open.
Funny enough, in this movie, Rita Repulsa is voiced by Barbara Goodson, the same voice actor from the show. But her voice was looped in post, and the actress portraying her didn't really do a whole lot of films.
After this movie, can you blame her?
And inside of the egg is ooze. As in ooze. Literal ooze.
Kind of anticlimactic.
Oh, wait, there we go. Played by Paul Freeman, who is probably the most remembered performance in this whole movie. Though I will say, the special effects department went all out on his makeup. Rita and Zed give the usual take care of these annoying teenagers for a speech, and... I just realized, the main villains of the show pretty much just subcontracted an ancient eldritch evil to get these damn kids off their lawn.
I would come to their defense and say that they were more effective in the show, but...
I believe it's time to think about a new addition to our family.
Addition? What kind of addition?
Why, a baby.
What?
Yeah, they really weren't.
Tell me again about how wrong I was for never giving this show a chance. So Rita and Zed leave. Just like, you start on Monday, Ivan. Wear a tie. But the Rangers taste the rainbow with their asses into the construction site so they can square off against the movie's big bad. Which which is still in Act 1, so you could probably guess how this is gonna go.
Meet my kids.
Instant Minions! Just add the budget of our YouTube show.
Instead of making sure his Ooze men do their job, or, helping out by throwing some more of that purple lightning from his fingertips at the Rangers, Ooze takes a page out of Rita and Zed's playbook by teleporting away.
And the Rangers put up a decent fight. Probably the best one in the whole show.
Welcome to my nightmare.
Action boy now, action girl now. It's a
This is the best fight scene in the whole movie?
Yes?
There's too many of them.
Let's do it, guys.
Right.
It's morphin' time.
It's about damn time. I was actually hoping for there to be some Power Rangers in this fucking Power Rangers movie. It's not exactly a statement I expected to say when I woke up this morning. So the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers morph into Power Rangers mightily. There's lightning, and posing, and flips for the camera to show how awesome they are. And we move on. Seems while they were showboating, Ivan Ooze oozed his way into the Power Rangers' secret base. He doesn't fuck around here, and wrecks Zordon's shit in a fit of rage.
All the things that I have missed! The Black Plague! The Spanish Inquisition! The Brady Bunch reunion!
I know I'm the one asking, but how did Ivan know about any of that?
To be fair, I was raised in the woods, and even I knew about the Brady Bunch.
Nobody has the idea while Ivan is blasting the fuck out of everything to call the Rangers for help. It's not as if they have a whole lot to do, except wander around aimlessly through a parking garage and show off the new tech Zordon gave them that Ivan didn't manage to trash.
But at long last, we have our official Ranger fight scene.
I'm so thrilled. What now? More posturing and unnecessary backflips? The fuck? What the fuck just happened?
And the body count has started. Yes, the Power Rangers movie has a body count. Assuming you go with the idea that the Ooze men are sentient.
I don't know what the world is anymore. And they are straight up killing them as Power Rangers. The fart noises that the Ooze men make while they get hit is distracting. Still, they gotta shill out more stuff for those toy commercials, including a knife. But the White Ranger's not gonna stab anyone with it. That would be far too violent for a children's movie. He's gonna use the knife on a rope, but not the blade. Again, far too violent. No, the blade has a built-in laser, which...
And the body count has risen.
Quit stealing my lines! And I just watched the leader of the Power Rangers commit mass homicide. What the fuck is even going on with this movie anymore?
It's only after the fight is over that they lose their powers, all thanks to Ooze destroying the command center, which means they should have lost their powers much, much earlier. But whatever, the Rangers then decide to hoof it back to the command center, not using teleportation this time.
Except the command center is located out in the desert. Far, far outside of Angel Grove.
I just get on with it, creepy. They took a Greyhound. There, easy enough.
Fine. It's not just that they're powerless, or that the command center has been thoroughly wrecked. No, Zordon is dying, and there is no way to save him.
Except for the one and only way to save him.
It's very dangerous. All who have tried for it have perished.
We have to try, Alpha.
Yes, go towards the death trap. The movie will be so much shorter that way.
I might have just enough power to get you there, but there won't be any left to get you back.
Or strand them on a hostile alien world. That works too.
Using the last of their energy, Alpha Star Trek teleports the Rangers into their usual Rainbow Road, and then zoom, it's off into space. which doesn't sit well with Rita, and said, Ivan Ooze is supposed to be this all-powerful planet-conquering evil, and he literally had one job, stop the Rangers. Instead, they got away and are heading off towards the ancient mystical power that will make them even bigger pains in the ass than they already are. However, Ivan doesn't care that Zed wants to take this up with corporate, because Ivan's in control now.
Way to go, Bonehead!
Wow, they managed to make Rita's voice even more annoying. That's impressive in its way.
Now you have a choice. You either serve me, or you can join these insufferable dingle dogs.
Yeah, hire the two less competent villains to help you with your evil plan. Whatever the hell it is.
Whatever it is, we know that it involves using the word dingle dorks in a sentence.
Dingle dog, dingle dog, dingle 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 dog, dingle dog, dingle dog, dingle 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 dog.
Now that he's got his two new minions to boss around, 3 guesses as to how that will go, Ooze sets about putting an end to the Rangers once and for all. You know, that thing he was supposed to do right out of the egg.
Which he does, finally, by... magic loogie powers.
My Tengu warriors.
One quick Wizard of Oz reference. And the bird brains are flying through space. Yeah, fuck it, they can fly through space. And apparently faster than the speed of light, because the Rangers have been on the Sydney, Australia stand-in planet for just a few short minutes before the life-size model extras from the underground world show up.
What the heck was that?
Quick, Rangers! Swing your coat hangers like never before!
See, there are worse movies than this. Not to worry, though. The Rangers are about to be rescued by a bikini-clad Jawa.
Oh dear sweet flying spaghetti monster, I can't bear to watch.
You sure you don't want to reconsider that?
Baby! 5 out of 5, best movie ever. Hell, screw even finding the great power. Send this lady to fight off Ivan Ooze.
For once, you make sense. She's got everything she needs to defeat the bad guy, apparently. Which, for some reason, does not include clothing.
This is Dulcinea, played by Gabrielle Fitzpatrick, a character who has quite possibly the most interesting backstory in this film. She and Zordon were evidently members of the Order of the Melodon, the ancient group of rangers who defeated Ooze 6,000 years ago. Unfortunately, we only know about this through supplementary materials. The actress was recast with Mariska Hargitay after filming began because Fitzpatrick had a medical emergency. Then cast back due to Hargitay being unsuitable for the role. Knowing Hollywood, probably because she didn't fit into the bikini as well.
Right, of course. Who cares about little things like plot or character development? Actually, I'm not sure this movie would really be improved much even with those, so fuck it, on with the fan service!
As you wish.
Hey, you! Stand.
Not remotely what I meant creepy. But come to think of it, what has Ivan been up to all this time? I mean, even for this kind of story, he has an evil plan, right?
Take it home in boxes. Take it home in cases. If your parents try to stop you, just throw it in their faces.
Okay, I'm just gonna have to break down everything that's wrong here. Ivan's evil plan consists of dressing up like a wizard from what I presume is the box art of a knockoff Dungeons & Dragons game. Then he gives away jars of his ooze, which may or may not be his bodily fluids, but we are not getting into that, creepy, so that they can take it home, leave it out on the counter for their parents to find, which will subsequently brainwash said parents into zombies. Then the parents wander down the street, in broad daylight, to Ivan's secret factory, which he has now, apparently, to put them to work to make more ooze, and unearthing the parts to some giant robots that were apparently how they conquered the Earth the first time. I mean, so much of this plan relies on contrived coincidences, and it doesn't even have to. Cut out the middleman! Or children, just paintball guns, poison the water supply, crop dusters, man, have you heard of them?
Again, you're not wrong, but it fits in with the show.
Don't tell me the show is like this. I refuse to believe that any episode had a plot as contrived as this.
What about the time when Rita's plan involved giving the Rangers an evil cat?
Like that could ever really happen. Koban?
Oh dear.
So, moving on. Dulcinea informs the Rangers that everyone who has tried to find the Great Power has failed. And died. But the Rangers are all, "We won't die!" Which is enough of a reason for her. She takes the Rangers to the super secret hidden temple of the Ninjetti and transforms them into...
Arabic-themed space ninjas, I guess.
I'm a frog.
Yes, a frog. Like the one you kissed. To get a handsome prince.
Okay, but how does it help him fight?
Hey, you got him a smooch from Gabrielle Fitzpatrick. Don't knock the frog.
Fair enough. She tasks them with heading down into the horizon painting and getting the great power of the Ninjetti. However, the Rangers are disappointed to hear that the boobalicious Battle Babe is not going to be coming with.
One step beyond this plateau, and I would begin to age as rapidly as Zordon is now.
And let's be honest, in this outfit, no one wants to see that.
I mean, she could change clothes and go with them. That would work. Or put on clothes.
No one wants to see that either, Creeper. Nope. Amazon bikini babes forever. Damn it! Ow. Thus, the Rangers head out to the harsh task of walking into the background painting. A path fraught with perils, the kind that kill all who have come before. Dangers like trees and more trees, shrubbage, foliage, and lots of fucking walking. I'm starting to have flashbacks to Alien Origin.
Now it's Jurassic Park.
Let me guess. That was the big moment in the movie for Dino-cember, wasn't it?
Pretty much, yes.
It is cool to see the Rangers fight something that is non-bipedal, but even taking this into account, they aren't doing the best job of fighting. The non-morph battle at the construction site is still the best fight scene so far, but the Ninja Rangers do succeed in the end by...
By pulling the pin, it would seem.
If it's an underwhelming end to an underwhelming fight, it does make me wonder, what powers do these ninja chic suits give them exactly?
I don't think they have any. There was supposed to be a scene, which got cut, where Dulcinea trained them in the art of the Ninjetti, but...
No, tell me. It was cut for time so it would have more important scenes like this.
Do the swim.
Eventually, the group does manage to make it to the big giant monolith, or somewhat less giant now, but the point is they defeated that one not particularly hard challenge, and the power is within their grasp. That is, until the stone statues embedded in the doorway come to life, and they must defeat these guardians if they want the power. You would think fighting guys literally made of stone would be hard, in more ways than one. However...
Thanks, Adam. Thought I was finished.
They're teenagers. They know their Pokemon-type matchups. Water beats rock.
Whoa! That was close.
And Crotch beats Spear. Just barely, but still.
The corkscrew kick! 8-ball, quarter pocket.
And fighting beats rock. But he was flying, which is weak to rock. Now, fuck it, this fight makes no damn sense, but it doesn't matter. Congratulations, you found the secret monolith of ultimate non-specific power. What are you gonna do next?
the Rangers back their powers. Their old powers. Basically, this whole trek was a quest for some D-cells.
While Decker recovers, the Rangers do their Rainbow Bright impression one last time, while back on Earth, Ivan Ooze has completed his needlessly complicated evil plan, which consists of assembling the two giant robots, pumping them full of his bodily fluids.
Hey, we're still not talking about that. This movie has given me enough of a headache. I do not need to think about how giant robots run on space mutant jizz. What are these things even called anyway?
Ectomorphicons.
Right. Which are insectoid, not aerobic instructors. Though that would be arguably far more terrifying.
Personally, I think it sounds like a convention that's a crossover between Power Rangers and Ghostbusters. And that is awesome!
I'm sick of your ugly faces and your dull personalities.
Yeah.
You will return to the construction site and leap to your doom.
Yeah, leap!
That's less awesome. I mean, in theory, the adults in this movie have been about as useful as that one annoying kid character. Speaking of, unfortunately...
Listen up! You all think this is one big party, don't you?
After scene after scene of him just sitting in the background and watching the events unfold, a job so useful we pretty much didn't even bring it up this entire review. Now he gets his big hero moment.
Ivan Ooze is evil. And if you don't come with me right now, our parents are gonna die!
Well, that's a hell of a thing to drop on them.
Wait a minute. If my parents die, that means I have to get a job and start feeding and clothing myself.
Well, fuck that noise. I wasn't planning on doing any of that stuff until I was at least 30. Guess it's time to save the day.
Alright! Let's get down to the construction site!
They won't clean their room, and yet one of them can pilot a monorail. Again, only in Angel Grove.
While the kids try to save their parents, the Power Rangers have finally returned. As they have giant frickin' killer robots to fight, they do this by Zording out and getting into their own giant frickin' killer robots. This is the big epic climax of this big movie, of course, so they have to go all out. And by that, I mean...
Tongue-tied and twisted.
All CGI. Early 90s CGI. Low budget early 90s CGI. I think that this was them saying, hey, we're a big, serious theatrical production. We don't have to use suits like they do on the TV show. We can go all out with this and this CGI that looks worse than the suits. It has aged horribly. It looks like Reboot had a kid with Reboot.
Bite your tongue. Reboot had far better visuals than this.
And still, yet again, the Rangers are proving to be ineffective at the one thing they're supposed to be good at, namely fighting. At the very least, they do manage to eventually take out one of the Ectomorphicons. This pisses Ivan off enough to throw his oozing hat into the fray by using the shittiest CGI scene we've seen so far, which is really saying something. Combining with the remaining Ectomorphicon so he can transform himself into...
Time for a little sword play.
Whatever the fuck that is.
Oh no, don't tell me. We're finally at the part where...
Again, looked better in the show. Think about that.
Ivan Ooze is completely unbeatable. Like, more so than the frickin' Xenomorphicon was in the first place. However, the Rangers are more cunning than he was counting on. You see, they get word that there just so happens to be a handy-dandy comet that is going to pass by the Earth in just a couple of minutes, so they intend to stop him that way. In the meantime, Important Kid tries to keep the parents alive by blasting them with a fire hose. Also, Bulk and Skull are still in the movie, in case you were wondering. Oh well, on with that epic final confrontation. That wasn't a comet. That was a big fucking flaming rock. Comets are made of ice and... never mind. More importantly, how is this ancient evil that had to be sealed away for 6,000 years just so happen to have blowing the fuck up be his one weakness?
Oh, that wasn't his one weakness, Decker.
Taking care of business.
That was his one weakness.
How many giant robots have balls?
I am directly below the enemy scrotum.
Well, there's that one.
As if I needed another reason to put off reviewing those movies.
Ivan is dead, the Rangers have their powers back, and the entire city of Sydney, Angel Grove, shows their gratitude by having a Power Rangers Day.
Complete with massive prawn platter.
Hey, guys.
Hey, friend.
Hey. Rumor has it you're quite the hero.
Also, fireworks. So, the end. And don't try and figure out where this movie fits into the show canonically. Watching this movie, I can't help but wonder, why? Why did the school have enough money to fund skydiving if they're doing it for a fundraiser? Why are the big bads from the show just shelved and we pretend like they're not important in the slightest? Why are the adults so stupid? Why are the children so stupid? Why are the bad guys so stupid? Why is Ivan Ooze's plan so ridiculously convoluted? Why were there giant frickin' robots buried under Angel Grove? Why didn't Zordon mention this slight issue before now? Why didn't he bring it up when construction began over Ivan's 6,000-year prison? Why did they only lose their powers after the fight? Why was there a spare Power Ranger power pack on a distant planet? Why was it guarded by one single warrior? Why was she next to naked in a kid's movie? Why didn't I get to see more scenes of her? Why spend more money on CGI that looks worse than rubber suits? Why not just take the Power Rangers out when you had the chance in Act 1? Why? 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 So that's about 2 Dingledorks out of 5. Had its moments.
I'm leaving a review for Rita's Magic Natural Wand Male Enhancer. 2 stars.
What the hell is the second star for?
Well, technically it worked.
And what was the second Dingledork for?
Amazon Bikini Warrior Woman. What else?
Okay, I'll level with everyone. Power Rangers, this theatrical version of Power Rangers, is not a good movie. It doesn't even manage to be an average movie. The CGI is vomit-inducing. There are YouTube videos from 10 years ago made by amateurs with better CGI work than this. Paul Freeman is just about the only actor who gives a truly good performance. The plot is needlessly convoluted, and when it isn't doing that, the pacing is horrific. And so much of the second act involves following the Rangers around while they wander aimlessly through Disney's lost animatronic indoor set piece. However, they were trying to impress fans with this movie. The budget is all over the place, especially in the first act. It feels as if that's where much of the money went, which is odd considering how the finale should have been where they were focused on. I get a 1987 Masters of the Universe vibe from this, in that the production spent most of the budget on certain set pieces that were ultimately not used very often. Also, the actors, while not great actors, had been playing their roles for a while now, so there's a sense of familiarity in the way that they portray the characters. One of my all-time favorite things about the movie are the suits, which sadly were another thing not used very often. It's once again something that doesn't hold up very well, but back when I first watched this movie, the suits looked way more powerful than spandex. At the end of the day, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, is ultimately a product of its time period in every way. It was a chance to cash in on something that was new and considered innovative at the time. It does have its charm in places, and it will probably make you laugh more than the director intended, coming in at 2 transforming boogers out of 5.
Okay, what was your second transforming booger for?
Jason David Frank riding a snowboard out of a plane.
Well, I've played enough Sonic games to know that's not really a bad plan. So, thank you all for watching. I've been Dr. Shado. And remember, don't dig around in your kid's ooze jar.
In case of brainwashing and subsequent servitude to your evil overlord?
What? No, it's your kid's things. That's just rude. Go Power Rangers. God, it's gonna be stuck in my head for another few years.
Dingle dogs.